Welcome, viewers. It's Mo from the Momentors Talkshow, a platform where I speak to leading women in ministry, business, politics, construction, finance. If you're that woman, then you want to become more and do more, because guess what? You have capacity for more. Tune in every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on Sky 589, Faith World TV, where you'll get inspiration. From Momentors Talkshow, bye-bye. A very warm welcome to the Momentous Talk Show for leading women, and thank you so much for joining in. And this afternoon I have this amazing lady, Nailah Jones. Welcome to the studio, Nailah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you for joining me. So, Nailah, just tell us who you are. So, I've got here that you are a plus size model, and with no doubt you look absolutely amazing.
Thank
by
you
the
very
way, so Nailah, tell us a bit more about your who you are. Just tell us a bit more, please. Thank you.
I am Nailah Jones. I am a plus size model, but I just think I'm an ordinary woman, a woman that's got children, has an amazing family, who just wants to do something with herself, and hopefully in that process I can inspire other people. So that's just pretty much me, to be honest.
Pretty much you. So you're just saying you're a simple woman, but I know you're a brand ambassador as a plus size model now for Boohoo. Which other
Pretty Little Thing,
Pretty Little
Primark,
Things, yes.
And I've got some more things that I should be doing, which I can't mention yet, but I'm really excited about that.
Excited. So, you tell us a bit more about the journey. So, did you just land yourself? So, while I was reading your profile, you're an aspiring actress as well, and you do some amazing work with the youth.
Yes.
Youth prevention. I suppose that's what caught my eye, because I wanted to understand a bit more about who and why you ended up in that role as a youth prevention officer or youth prevention speaker, so to speak. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I've always loved fashion and beauty and things like that, but I never had the confidence to do that. And my son got stabbed. At the same time, within 2 weeks, my son got stabbed. This was 2 years ago. My son got stabbed. I lost a baby. I was pregnant. I had an ectopic pregnancy, and the love of my life walked out on me.
Wow!
All within the space of 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Wow.
Yeah. So I after my son got stabbed, after he came out of hospital, and both of us was very poorly. I packed my bags and made myself intentionally homeless to just move out of a toxic environment. I was also very suicidal at that point, because I just thought, what else could happen? But I chose to live, and I moved to a different city with my 2 boys. And this
absolutely amazing. I'm going to have to stop you. So we hear a lot about gun crime, stabbings that are happening in the United Kingdom, and to think that I'm sitting opposite to you right now, and you've experienced that, and not only that, you experienced an ectopic pregnancy and a relationship breakdown, all in a space of 2 weeks. Wow. And I suppose, viewers, this is what this talk show is about, really. It's about, adversity breeds success, in that adversity. So in that moment when everything was happening, what were your exact thoughts? I mean, what were your exact feelings? You're telling me you upped and went, but, what feelings did you go through at that time?
As I went through a bit of obviously feeling like I wanted to end my life, but I felt like my life is not my own. I'm a parent. I'm I'm someone's daughter. I'm a best friend to someone. And I just thought, you know what, something positive must have to come through this. So I relaxed, I calmed down, and I started to think rationally. I started to find solutions to my current situation, which for me, and I'm a God-fearing woman, so I felt like the Holy Spirit was saying to you, you need to move. You need to move into a different territory.
Right.
And that's what I did.
Right. So what looked like a demotion at that time, if you like, or, was actually a promotion. It was a way of actually, almost like you were being moved into a better territory.
Yes.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. So your son is now 17 and he's fine. Everything's
he's doing exceptionally well. He went from a child who didn't care about, he didn't value his life, didn't value education. He missed out on his GCSE, so we had to redo some of the things, his studies. He got distinctions, merits. I'm passing his now on business level 2 in college.
Wow.
Doing well.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And congratulations to your son. And, you know, like I was saying today or earlier is, you know, your scars are the badges of honor. So never be frightened to wear them, you know. So whilst your son has gone through all this, he's still thriving.
Yes.
He's still now gone back to school, to college, and he's pursuing his studies.
Definitely.
So he's not allowed this incident to hold him down.
No.
And that's probably because of the type of mum he has, really, isn't it? So going back to yourself then, so when did this plus size modelling career start for you? Obviously, I know this has all happened in the last 2 years, but you know, was that the beginning of your?
I would say it's something that I always wanted to do, but I definitely threw myself into it because we were in temporary accommodation. Wasn't much to do in terms of what's next.
Yes.
So whilst my son was getting back into school and we're getting settled, I said, you know what? I am just going to throw, what else can go wrong? Like, I know I didn't have the confidence, I didn't believe in myself. I thought, I'm just going to throw myself into this.
Yes.
And that's what I did.
And I like that. And that's one of my mantras, really, you know, what's the worst that could happen? And you know what? When you think about doing something, and viewers, if you're watching from home, I have a special guest today, and this lady has been able to pick herself up from having 3 things happen to her in a short space of time. So this lady had a son being stabbed. She experienced an ectopic pregnancy, and in that same space of time, she, the love of her life, walked out. And you know, according to how the normal person would be thinking, is, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I'm just going to top myself up. But you didn't do that. No. You know, you had thoughts of wanting to push forward, and you decided to relocate and actually start again. And in that brink of everything going wrong, you found yourself going up and escalating.
Yes, I did.
Escalating into a plus size modeling career. So tell us a bit more about your role in that role now. You know, obviously you're plus size. Did you choose? Obviously you're quite a voluptuous, beautiful lady, and congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, what would you say to somebody who's watching right now who may be going through a period in their life, and they're thinking, like, you know, they're having everything else going wrong? What would you say to them?
I would say there's all this thing about positive mindset, and I think it's crucial, but just understand that in life as well, that sometimes negative can happen, but depending on your mindset, you have to really know that out of adversity can be something really prosperous. And just be positive, because when you think positive, it allows you to think rationally. And when you think rationally, you can find solutions. And don't be afraid to tell your story. When I was in the hospital and my son was almost murdered, I went Facebook Live. People thought I was crazy, but guess what? The amount of people that reached out to me, the amount of prayers that I got, I don't think I could have got through that time without that. So put your story out there, and that's
and
it,
it's
really.
About the positive mindset. I like that. You know, positivity at all times. You know, it doesn't matter what you're going through, but actually a positive mindset can actually take you through situations.
Definitely.
And I think that's really important for anyone that's going through that type of a challenge, can be able to really take home or take on board. And I think you also mentioned here, you know, you had many people reaching out to you. So is it your friends, family, you know, church community, or just strangers? What type of people?
A lot of people were strangers, but obviously I'm blessed with a great support network. My mother is amazing, my father, and I have really good friends that have stuck by me through thick and thin. So having a good support network, and even if you don't have that, because some people don't have that, as I said, you can put yourself out there and just reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, because oftentimes it's the strangers. I always said that about you. You've inspired me so much. I've met you once and I'm stalking you because you're amazing, and you was a stranger to me. And you'd message me to keep my chin up. So things like that. It's,
it's that, you know, picking up and being able to identify the right positive support for you. And if you're lucky to have a family that's supportive, or a church community that's supportive, but you know, if you don't have that, you know, do not be scared to actually go out there and ask for help. Because sometimes, you know, people are too scared. They want to hide the ugly. But we're saying to you, if you're going through that challenge in your life, we want you to reach out, look for the right tribe of women.
Yes.
I was at a conference recently, and one of the things that was said is, when women rise and you're in a certain place of influence or success mode, we want to be sending the lift down to the women at the bottom.
Yeah.
We don't want to jam the lift,
Yeah.
because when you jam the lift, then not many people can come up with us. So that's what we constantly need to be reminded of. And, viewers, if you're watching from home and you would like to speak to Nailah Jones, who is a youth prevention speaker now after having experienced her son being stabbed at a very tender age of 15, she was able to still continue to basically keep going, and she's at a place now where she's realizing success, where she's not only realizing success, but she's impacting the younger generation. So just stay tuned. If you would like to speak to her, or if you've experienced a similar and you would like to speak to Nailah, please do ring the number on the screen, and I will catch up with you after the short break. Thank you.
Welcome, viewers.
Why did you come
Mo
inside?
from the Momentors Talkshow, a platform where I speak to leading women in ministry, business, politics, construction, finance. If you're that woman, then you want to become more and do more, because guess what? You have capacity for more. Tune in every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on Sky 589, Faith World TV, where you'll get inspiration. From Momentors Talkshow, bye-bye.
Welcome, viewers, to the second episode of the Momentous Talk Show for Leading Women. And this talk show is for that woman who is leading in places of ministry, finance, whatever area you're leading in. This is the right talk show for you. And we talk everything leading, we talk everything success, we talk everything motivational and inspirational. And today in the studio, I've been talking to the beautiful Nailah Jones, who is also a plus size model for Boohoo and an ambassador for many other companies. But not only that, she's a woman who's been through her own personal journey of challenges. And we were talking a bit earlier about how she's been able to stay and stand even though she was experiencing serious challenges. So Nailah, where do you see yourself now? I know you've talked about being an aspiring actress. What sort of things are you looking to go into going forward?
I love those things, but I think my main I've just got a passion to help people, as cliche as it sounds, and we hear this all the time, but I do have a passion to help people, especially women that have faced huge amounts of adversity, and just trying to help them channel in what they love to do and bring that out, because it really helps the process.
So are you talking more of sort of being an inspirational piece, or rather a mentoring type of
I
work?
don't think I'd go down the mentoring route just yet.
Yes.
But I definitely would run workshops, which I'm currently doing, and I've got a few coming up. And I tell people to inbox me. I started a YouTube channel, and I so regret taking it down now, but we learn along the way.
Yes, we do.
I'm starting my YouTube channel again. Hopefully be doing a podcast as well.
Wow.
So, I've got some really
absolutely amazing
ideas.
And just to encourage you, really, never ever, and like I say, what's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
And you can never speak from a position of anything that you've never experienced. Actually, the fact that you've been able to go through that and still be standing today, that is something. And one thing I always say is, your story is not for you. Your story is not for you.
This is something that I remember. I was in the kitchen, and I always used to say, God, I just want to help people, because I did a lot of charity work in Africa as well. And then I was in the kitchen, and then that's why you've been through so much, because you've said if you want to help someone, you have to have a bit of experience.
Template.
And I was like, Thank you, God.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
And that's I think that's so important to remember. You know, you had thoughts of suicide. You said when everything was going wrong, you had those thoughts of taking your own life, but actually you didn't.
Yeah.
And the reason you actually didn't do that is because then you can be that mouthpiece, isn't it, for those that are watching. You know, there could be some woman out there who's listening, and you probably, or you're at the brink of giving up, or you're at the brink of, you know, just really throwing in the towel. And what this show and what we're saying to you today is, do not give up. You know, what's the worst that could happen? We are asking that, you know, we want you to do really is be inspired. You know, continue to go for it. Continue, never give up on yourself. Do not give up on your situation. And this is what this show is about, is an inspirational piece. And we are talking today talking to Nailah, and she's basically sharing her own experience of how her son was stabbed, and, you know, love of her life walked out of her life, and she lost a baby in that brink of everything going wrong. And, you know, she could have just really you know, thinking about it, she could have really just decided to throw in the towel. But you didn't. You decided to stand. And I think really that's so important to bring out to the world. And really, I want to be able to really congratulate you
so
on actually not giving up on yourself. And that's so important. So you've talked about some charity work that you've done. What sort of charity work have you been involved with in Africa?
Well, it was my own thing. My mum had a business in Gambia years and years ago, so I was quite fortunate to be able to travel there a lot. And so I used to just collect clothes from people and send them over, and just to help out a little bit. Nothing.
It is, you know, trust me, it is. And you know what? And this is the thing, because I get involved in charity work, and you know what I think is not important actually for somebody else, it's almost like God sent. So, you know, never really minimize anything at all.
Definitely true.
And don't say it was just a little bit of charity work. Actually, you did charity work, and you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for standing in for somebody. Because I've seen people that actually didn't have anything, didn't have a shoe, didn't have anything, clothes, you know, things we take for granted.
And people don't realise how hard it actually is, and that's probably why sometimes I'm not really excited. But I just know I want to help, because it is a lot of work, and I was on my own. I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, we did it in the end.
So do you hope to continue doing this charity work?
As I said,
is that something, because you're talking about wanting to help other women? What you know, is that something that, how can we revive that within you now?
I just, like the other day, I was in the bath, and I was thinking, I watched something on YouTube about some kids in it, I can't remember what country it was, can't go to school because they're on the period, and I thought, wow, I could do an event and get some pads and send them over. Like, I just have this in me to want to help people. I really can't explain.
And the thing about it is, and I know how you feel, because I know where you're coming from in a way. And when you feel like that, do something about it. And that's what I always say, when you feel something move inside of you, to actually and you keep thinking about it, you know, that is nature or God's way of talking to you. So actually, you want to go for it. You know, I just really want to encourage you on this show live to really go for that. And, you know, if there's any way that the Momentors Talkshow can help you and support you, you know, I would love to be a part of that and support you. So what would you say to that young woman who may be dealing with issues right now, challenges in their life? What would you say to them now?
I would say definitely have faith. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a saying that when your back is against the wall, the only way is forward. And that's just powerful.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to just look at it like that. And there's always something amazing.
Something amazing. So when your back is against the wall, the only way is forward. Lovely. And I've got this one, you know, you got to fail forward. And another one that I have is, you know, when you're in the pit, you need to keep moving. You know, what you don't want to do is to stay still. Because, you know, we hear in the book, in the Bible, basically, they say, you know, they will walk through the shadow of the valley. So you got to keep walking, regardless. You know, actually, the key is to keep moving.
And what's amazing about that scripture is because we're going to walk through the valley, so it's going to happen.
It's got to happen at some point.
You can't say that I want this perfect. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't. It just.
But just know that God's got you.
Yeah, God's got you. God's got you.
Yeah.
And we are on Faith World TV, so I do think that, we are safe to actually do speak about, the Bible. We are safe. And really, I'm a woman of faith myself as well. So I do believe in the word, and it's a motivational piece for me. That I use for my own personal life. So I wanted to encourage somebody as well. If you feel, things that you've got other things that can support your family, inspirational books. The Bible is an inspirational book, and we're talking about, though I walk through the valley of the shadow, so you will walk through it. And the key for me there was actually, despite, it doesn't matter what you're going through, never ever remain stagnant.
Yes.
Just keep walking forward, right? So absolutely amazing. So where do we see you then in terms of the youth crime prevention? What words would you like to share with somebody who may be experiencing that, either for their children or a young person who actually may be involved in, what organization would you direct them to get support?
So many organisations out there that are amazing, but there's one amazing one that I have the privilege to work with, or that asked me to come and speak, is Voice Against Crime.
Wow.
They are doing, stepping out their comfort zones as companies to really put into place things that can really help in terms of education, entrepreneurship, and just showing them real life experiences, because I think the youth are not exposed to a lot of stuff. And if you've got a child, a son or daughter who you think might be going down that road, reach out, message me, reach out to somebody, speak to them, and make sure you have that good relationship with your child, because honestly they will open up to you, because at the end of the day you're the only person that they can trust in this big bad world out here. So
I think that's so key for us to build those relationships. And I know, obviously being from a mother with teenagers, it's not the easiest, especially if you've got, how have you been able to create that relationship with your sons, for example? What kind of keys would you give women who may be watching? Maybe they may be single moms and there's no male role model in that family. What key things could you share with us to say, how would you build a relationship with a boy child?
I would definitely say discipline. I don't care how old they are, as long as they're under my roof. Discipline is key. They have to know boundaries. Also, being open, being transparent to them. Obviously, the older they are, the more transparent you can be in terms of your personal experiences. Let them know that you've been there. Let them know that they can trust you, even if they come to you and they've done something wrong. Don't just pounce on them. Let them know that I'm disappointed, but this is how we can move forward. So they've got that trust, because who are they going to trust? They need to be able to trust. I always say I discipline my kids with my left hand, but I'm going to protect them with my right hand.
With your right hand, that's really powerful. Really powerful. So you're hearing from Nailah, and she's walked the walk. She's been through these experiences, and what she's saying to us, or to you, if you're watching and you're a female single mother or single father, and you may be experiencing, your child may be going through either teenage issues or gangs, or struggling to communicate. We are saying, try and cultivate that relationship with your son, get support. And Nailah is saying, discipline, establishing boundaries is key. Have boundaries. And also she's saying she will correct with her left hand, but then again, love them and guide them with the right one.
They need love.
So they're still within that love cycle, isn't it, if you like? So, that's absolutely amazing. And one thing I was going to ask, how can people who may be watching this show today connect with you? So have you got social media handles? What's the best way to contact you?
Well, you can contact me on Facebook, Nailah Jones, that's Facebook, and on Instagram, it's at Jones_Nailah.
Okay, at Jones_Nailah. Okay, so you've heard for yourselves, viewers, if you would like to connect with Nailah Jones, who is not only a plus size model, she's an aspiring actress, and not only she's an aspiring actress, she's an inspirational woman who has been through the rough of the roughest. She's been through having a son being stabbed losing a child, and in that moment the love of her life walking away from her. But she's not allowed those circumstances to keep her down, and I suppose that's why she's in the studio today as a leading woman. Congratulations for being on the Momentors Talk Show. And that's what this show is about. Adversity breeds success. So if you're going through that adversity right now and you're watching the show, we would like to encourage you to do not give up. Continue to thrive for more. Look for the tribe of women that can support you, or people that can support you. You need the right association around you, people that can encourage you to do more and become more, because guess what, you have got capacity for more. So thank you so much, Nailah, for coming to the studio. Any last words to the viewers before we...
I've got a few events coming. I've got a plus size event, and I've also been doing an event in March the 20th. It's an empowerment event. It's on Eventbrite, so if you follow my handles, you can find me there. But I just would also like to say, Mo, you are an amazing woman.
Thank
the
you.
Story is, I met her at an event and she's just been inspiring me ever since. And I love what you're doing, and I feel honoured to be on your show.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for honouring that invite. You know, it's another thing inviting or extending somebody to say, can you come on my show? But actually having them accept that, I think for me, that's really, really encouraging, that you believe in the brand, you believe in what this talk show is about. And that's really humbling. So thank you so much for joining me today. And viewers, if you're watching from home and you would like to become part of the Momentous Talk Show for leading women, please do get in touch on www.momentors.me and ask to come on the show as a guest. From now, myself, Mo, in the studio on Sky 589. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Welcome, viewers. It's Mo from the Momentous Talk Show, a platform where I speak to leading women in ministry, business, politics, construction, finance. If you're that woman, then you want to become more and do more, because guess what? You have capacity for more. Tune in every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on Sky 589, Faith World TV, where you'll get inspiration. From Momentous Talk Show, bye-bye.